Hi class, this is Kyler. For my research paper, I chose Chipotle and how they successfully executed a business continuity plan um, when they ran into a crisis of an E. coli outbreak. So Chipotle, they're a fast food restaurant. Their main food are burritos and tacos, as many of you may know. The company was founded by Steve Ells on July 13th, 1993, and they currently have over 2,500 locations and over 45,000 employees. Their current stock price is traded at $731.62, and they're part of the S&P 500. So, with the E. coli outbreak at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016, there were 55 people affected by it, and it was climbing over the next 2 year period. Um, but despite the drop in stock, Chipotle has gotten back on track and is booming in 2019 more than ever. I believe they were successful for these three things. They had a clear message to the target audience. They really wanted to connect back with their previous consumers and just show that they're getting back on track and they're going to be better than ever. And a big one is that they held themselves responsible. They didn't hide. They were out on the scene and they chose to tell the world that it was their fault and they were going to learn from it. And then they just embraced it as an opportunity. They embraced it to learn from it and to grow. And I think that's really why they're doing well right now. Some key steps they had um, were the new food and safety protocol. This allowed them to become the new leaders in the food safety industry, and they implemented barcodes that uh, let them trace ingredients back right to the source. So if anything happened, they could figure out where it came from and what happened. So I think this is really important. Um, they had a new marketing and promotional campaign that was over $50 million after there was consumer redeemable promotions given out. This was just to develop a new website and have a public relations message that will help show consumers that they're getting back on track and they really want to grow and be the Chipotle they once were. Another thing was investing in themselves, continued expansion. They worked with real estate investors and they found new places to implement um, new chains and new places to serve their food, especially going into Canada. And then aggressive investments in staff and management. They really wanted to make um, the restaurants a place where people wanted to come, have a good atmosphere. It just shows that the employees care and they're not going to serve anyone bad food. So I think that really helped in the long run. This is just an outline of kind of when the outbreak happened and how they dealt with it. So on October 31st, they temporarily closed 43 restaurants in Washington. Um, November 4th, Chipotle commits to becoming leader in food safety. Um, you can see in December 23rd at the bottom, Chipotle announces implementation of new cooking methods. Um, February 1st, CDC announces the completion of the Chipotle investigation, so that's big for them. And then their CEO, Steve Ells, says it was the most challenging quarter in company history. So it's just an outline of kind of what happened. Um, a big thing back on December 10th that I noticed there was Steve Ells, the CEO, came out and apologized live on the Today Show. I think that's big. We talk about it a lot, how the CEO needs to be on scene and show that he cares, and I think they did that really well. So this is the current stock price right now. You can see the dip in 2016 there. Obviously they're doing really well. They're trading at almost $800, and they've taken a dive. And from 2016 to 2018, they're really low. But the new CEO Brian Nicole, he really helped out, and market value increased up 74%. So you can see it climb back up there. And in 2019, we're getting back to that $730 range, and I think it's just going to grow from now on. I think they have really improved, and people trust them again, and um, it's just really up to them what they do. A couple things I mentioned here: creating new ways for growth. They've implemented like drive-throughs and things like using apps to get their service, product and service. So just keeping up with the innovative things, and then the employee improvement there. Like I mentioned, the employees is a big thing. People want to go somewhere where they know that they're going to get quality food, and um, having those employees to do that is really important. So overall, I think Chipotle, obviously, the E. coli outbreak was something they didn't want to happen, but they really embraced it and used it as a time of growth. And they really showed the consumers they lost and regained that they're in it for the long run. They're in it with them, and they're going to be the company they once were. Um, so I'm excited to see where Chipotle goes. I think this is a great example of how a successful business plan can work and why it's so important for companies to have. Just it's something to fall back on when a crisis does happen. It's you're not scrambling. There's a plan in place, and with the right people and the right attitude, you can follow it, and like Chipotle, be back on your feet within the matter of 1 to 2 years and be as good as you once were. Thank you.